Hello, hello, welcome back to Supposedly Fun. I'm Greg, here today to do a Friday Reads video. I have not done one of these in the past, but I wanted to today because, my wheels are spinning. I'm trying to figure out my reading plan. I've been in a bit of a reading slump, so maybe you can help me with that. But first, I wanted to say I did a video yesterday about the best and worst mothers in literature. There have been some great comments on that video. I'll link it down below. But somebody in particular pointed out a glaring omission on my part. That's Desiree McLaughlin. She pointed out that I mentioned Molly Weasley from the Harry Potter books as one of the best mothers, but what about Lily Potter, who literally died to save her son? That's a really good point. Thank you for that. And a couple of people have chimed in to say that apparently Marmee from Little Women should be on the list. So thank you for that. I will be, because it has been asked, I will be doing a list of best and worst fathers, but I'm going to save that for closer to Father's Day. I already have, I'm already working on the list, so stay tuned for that. So basically what's happening is, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I got my wisdom teeth taken out at the end of April, so I had a long recovery with that because I'm older than most people are when they have that done. And then I've been back at work this week, and when you've been out for a while, work gets really busy, and then my husband is sick today. So there's just been a lot going on, and basically I haven't really been able to get into anything. I finished the 5, and I'm more than halfway through an audiobook right now, but otherwise I've had a lot of stops and starts. So here they are. The first one is the audiobook of East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Now this actually, I liked the book, but kind of similar to what happened to me when I was listening to the audiobook of Beloved in February, I felt like I really wanted the physical book, so I can get an actual satisfying, deeper reading experience, because I was really liking the writing, and I think it would help me pick up the nuances of it and the characters. So I think my plan is I've returned the audio of this to the library, and I think I'm just going to get myself a copy of the physical book. Don't know when I'll get around to it, but I think that's going to be a much better way forward with East of Eden. I also had an audiobook from the library of Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo. I think just because of everything going on with a sinus infection and my wisdom teeth, I was not really in a mood for this right now. I couldn't get into it, so what I did is I put it on hold in favor of another audiobook that I had from the library, and now Behind the Beautiful Forevers is due back in 2 days, so I think I'm just going to return it and get back on the wait list for it, and maybe my headspace will be better for it. That other audiobook is the one that I'm actually more than halfway through. It is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh. And what's funny about this is I don't actually really like this book. It's kind of irritating, but because it's irritating, I'm able to power through, if that makes sense. It's almost like a hate watch for like a TV show or a movie you don't like but can't stop watching. And I am curious about how it ends. So basically it's about this girl who, her goal is to sleep for a year. So she's like heavily medicating herself, and she's basically in a stupor. I did not like Ottessa Moshfegh's other book that I read, which was Eileen. So maybe I'll talk about that when I do my recently read video on that. So this is the only book I've actually been making progress on, and I don't like it, which is kind of funny. I also have started Normal People by Sally Rooney. I've only gotten 10 pages in, and I think the deal here is that Conversations with Friends was the second to last book that I finished. And I think I need a little bit more distance between Sally Rooney books. I didn't actually enjoy Conversations with Friends as a book. I just enjoyed that nerd out reading experience of studying what Sally Rooney was doing. So I think given that, it's a big ask to jump into another one of her books. So I think I'm going to table this for about a month, give myself a little bit of time before jumping in. I had also gotten Lost Children Archive from the library, and I've maxed out my renewals on it, and now there is a wait list for it. So I think what I'm going to do with this is just return it, get back on the wait list, and revisit it at a later date. So those are the things I've been stopping and starting on. I think what I really need right now is kind of a gimme, like a book that will be easy to read, jumpstart my engines, and get me back into reading. So I've had really good momentum on reading this year, and I don't want to lose it. So I think I need something like that. And usually what I turn to in these cases are like mystery books. I had restarted the Sue Grafton series last year. When she died, I decided to kind of start over and work my way through the whole thing over again. And I did A and B last year, so potentially C is for Corpse would be an option for that to help me get my motor running. Another option would be Rex Stout, Fer-de-Lance. This is the first book in the Nero Wolfe series. I've never read any of those. So if you have read any of these, let me know if this would be a good option. If you think I should stick with Super Afton, let me know that. The other one I was kind of thinking of is Stephen King's Different Seasons. I mentioned this not too long ago because I've only actually read one of the novellas in here, which was Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. So there are 3 others in here that I have not read and want to get to at some point. So I'm kind of thinking about that. If you've read it, let me know. I know I also have a lot of books that are kind of in this vein as ebooks, so I need to go through those before I make a decision. But if you have an opinion about any of these 3 or any other recommendations that you think I should go to instead, please let me know. I think something like this is going to be my best path forward, so I can continue reading and not lose any of that momentum that I've had this year. So let me know what you think, and as usual, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you are already subscribed, thank you for that. If not, I hope you enjoyed this enough to hit subscribe or check out some of my other videos. I'll be back again. Until then, happy reading.